Welcome to the channel. Before starting the video, sign up and leave your like so we can hit the subscribers goal. Cristiano Ronaldo is being an ass again. Cristiano Ronaldo did not have a great performance last year. He lost his place in Erik ten Hag's Manchester United squad and twice got into trouble for acting like a big baby during matches. His attempt to secure a transfer to a European team qualified for the Champions League failed when, reportedly, no European club submitted an offer. When he failed to negotiate a smooth exit from Manchester, he staged a powerfully harmful and embarrassing interview with the great English idiot Piers Morgan to make the situation untenable, and United banned him on the eve of the World Cup, where he was banned, as punishment for a tantrum, and his replacement immediately scored a hat-trick. He made what was probably the last World Cup appearance of his life as a 51st-minute substitute in Portugal's quarter-final match against Morocco, failed to turn the score from 0-1 and walked off the pitch in tears. And then his lifelong rival, Lionel Messi, personally led Argentina to perhaps the most emotional triumph in World Cup history. When, a few weeks after his banishment from United, and 12 days after Messi conquered the world, Ronaldo signed a deal to join Saudi professional league club Al Nassr in exchange for a cartoonishly gigantic salary, general consensus welcomed it. As the ultimate end to his time at or near the pinnacle of the sport, and an ignominious, vaguely smelly end, a fading legend who became so radioactive he could only continue his career as the trophy hood ornament in a sports wash project inside the game. That Al Nassr performed slightly worse after Ronaldo arrived, or that the club's manager was sacked shortly after Ronaldo threw a tantrum on the field in April after a 0-0 draw in which he failed to get the serve he wanted. Wanted hardly deserves mention. But I'm mentioning it anyway because it's funny. The subsequent migration to Saudi Arabia by several other faded footballing eminences, Karim Benzema, N'Golo Kanté, Roberto Firmino, Marcelo Brozovic, a few others, perhaps did little to transform Ronaldo's transit, retrospectively, from exile to something a little less sad and more like pioneering a trend. It's kind of ironic that the only thing that could have done more to validate Ronaldo's career from Europe to Saudi Arabia as anything cooler than a brazen post-relevancy cash grab would have been for Messi himself to make the trip, as many rumors have predicted he would do this summer, and for a salary much higher than Ronaldo's. If that happens, might have been a somewhat bitter consolation for Ronaldo himself, lending legitimacy to the guy he spent much of his professional life trying to outdo. Then what actually happened could only taste even worse. Messi has rejected a totally surreal salary offer, something on the order of €400 million a season, from Al Hilal, in favor of joining Major League Soccer bottom-placed Inter Miami for something like an eighth. The verdict, explicit or not, the SPL is a bush league, and Messi sees no appeal in joining it at any cost. Notably, in the catalogue of lucrative semi-retirements for football stars in decline, Ronaldo probably couldn't, or at least never would, seriously consider the MLS option. In 2017, he was investigated for rape in Las Vegas and allegedly avoided entering the United States for years to avoid possible arrest. Prosecutors later declined to press charges and a civil suit by the accuser failed due to her attorney's misconduct, but as a matter of career, that likely ruled out MLS for good. Even now, Ronaldo would certainly face questions and public scrutiny over the accusation here that he doesn't have to deal with in Saudi Arabia. So, to summarize, Ronaldo is effectively exiled professionally from both Europe and the US. His time in Saudi Arabia was not very good from a sporting point of view. His reputation is unmistakably overshadowed at a point in his career, probably too late for him to fully recover it, and at a point where Messi is as close as possible to being universally loved. In short, his worldwide celebrity, inconceivable riches, and famed good looks aside no good. That brings us to Monday, when Al Nassr took on La Liga mediocrity Celta de Vigo in a friendly in Portugal and were beaten 5-0. Ronaldo, hailed as a saint by the Portuguese and substituted at halftime, faced questions from the media afterwards. Was he gracious and circumspect about his place in world football and the various leagues in which, for various reasons, he is unable to play? Reader, he was not. The MLS emerged, as expected. Messi, after all, rejected the Saudi Pro League to go there. What does Ronaldo think of this? Saudi League is better than MLS, he said. I paved the way for the Saudi League, and now all the players are coming here. In 1 year, more and more top players will come to Saudi Arabia. In 1 year, the Saudi League will overtake the Turkish League and the Dutch League. And Europe? Would Ronaldo like to return to Europe? Going back to Europe, for me, is a closed possibility. I'm already 38.5 years old, he said, and here you might think he's being humble about his diminution and the reality that nobody in Europe wants him. And it's not worth it. Europe has lost a lot of quality. The only one that is one of the best is the English Premier League. The Spanish league has lost its level, the Portuguese is not top, the German has also lost a lot of quality. Notably, none of this is entirely wrong, just as much of what Ronaldo said to Piers Morgan had at least some truth, or at least believability, in it. Whether the Saudi Pro League has yet to definitively overtake the MLS as a Las Vegas casino residence destination for soccer greats is at least up for debate, and the trend lines and migration patterns at the moment seem generally to point towards Riyadh. Personally, I don't think the SPL is likely to overtake the Dutch Eredivisie anytime soon, except in the sense in which it already has, as a gaudy, spendthrift cruise ship for expensive mercenaries. But maybe it will. And continental Europe's leagues have really dropped a lot, due to, in varying combinations, shitty management, the lingering economic devastation of the COVID-19 pandemic, and ownership/revenue models that render all but Paris Saint-Germain unable to match even the transfer market power of mid-table English clubs. There are infinitely worse and more disqualifying opinions for anyone discussing world football than the Saudi League is better than the MLS and Europe has lost a lot of quality, apart from the Premier League. It's just. Cristiano, friend. Your team was just beaten 5-0 by damn Celta de Vigo, man. Shut up. Hope you enjoyed the video. What did you think of the video? Subscribe to the channel and leave your opinion in the comments.